We live in Brooklyn, baby. We live in Brooklyn, baby.
Welcome, everybody.
Hello.
Man, that was an abrupt end to our music.
Yeah, I know, man. Oh, word? Oh. I see.
Insanity check, ladies and gentlemen. Ken Skillet Sauce and 8 with the invisible pointed finger.
Yeah, I was about to say, maybe we should get like something like... Yeah, okay. What's the date?
Today's date is October 29.
Somewhere Amber is laughing.
I'm sure she is. Hi, Amber.
In between scenes.
Yeah, exactly.
Last week's show, we've been getting a lot of submissions. A lot of people have been sending me stories. I mean, tons and tons of stories that I didn't even get a chance to even send to you. I guess I almost thought it was as a joke because most of them was still negative, And when I thought about last week's show, and then I thought about, trying to find some real decent stories, not the ridiculous, a dog does a backflip story or whatever the hell it was that you had last time. And I found that no matter what positive stories, like a little girl that was cured of HIV, somehow she might hold the key to the HIV virus, as monumental as that sounds, or the guy from the Steve one from the hotel, with the curing of blindness, it seems like the negative stories is so amazingly outrageous and sensational that somehow in my mind they still seem to trump anything positive that I can find. I mean, because there's so much murder and mayhem, from this poor family, Asian family in Sunset Park with his bastard, shivs and stabs up the whole family, the mother and like all the kids down to the youngest. I didn't even. It was just too horrible for me to even, comprehend how someone could do that. I didn't even look into the story. I was like, I don't even want to just really go into that shit. But I mean, it was been a lot of like crazy stuff going, and stupid things going on. It's like, man, it's literally like picking the proverbial needle from the haystack, trying to find something that's interesting and positive that I think might be able to hold people's attention. And that's probably the last, be able to hold people's attention, but be that as it may. I mean,
this story ain't it.
No, this is the epitome of stupidity. Really, seriously. Look at this month. Okay, so
and yeah, I mean, so once again, Skillet's arch nemesis strikes. Indian girl hanged herself after parents banned her from Facebook. Mm-hmm. Police say.
Yeah. So, I already got into a debate with somebody over this, and I'll give you my take on it after you read a little bit more, because go ahead. I'll tell you exactly how I feel about this.
So, apparently, a 17-year-old Indian girl seemed to have hanged herself because her parents banned her from Facebook because she needed to spend more time concentrating on her school. That's the first thing that surprised me, was that an Indian girl was like not studying and shit. Anyway,
man, that's a good stereotype to have,
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, very intelligent, So
Aishwarya S.
Don't bastardize the name. Just say the girl.
Wow. Thank you very much.
Yeah, okay.
Sure, I've made the parents
she didn't kill
proud.
herself before, she'd have killed herself then. Bastardized and butchered her name.
A college student from Parbhani in Western India asked her parents for permission to log on to Facebook. Did I say Facebook right?
Yeah, you said Facebook. Oh, my God.
On Wednesday, but was denied. Police told India Real Time. She got into an argument with her mother and father, who said that she was paying too much attention to her social media and not enough on her studies. Authorities say the girl was found hanging in her room the next morning and left a note that said her parents' decision to ban her from Facebook led to her death.
Okay.
We still can't believe it. We are in deep shock, her father said. We just wanted her to focus on her studies. We never thought she would ever take such an hard step. Before you go on, I'm just going to make a blanket statement here. Those of you who remember Dennis Miller, he used to be a really funny comedian until he became a pussy for the Republicans after 9/11. Now he just hawks their bullshit views. His show, he used to have Dennis Miller Live on, I think it was HBO.
HBO, yeah, I believe it was.
He always used this phrase referring to this type of action, and I always stuck with it. I always believed it because it's true. This is nature. This is the herd thinning. This is the gimpy oxen or wildebeest who can't make it in the pack, and the lions have come to take her away.
Then I guess we're of the same mindset, because I was just thinking about, since I'm always with the movies, 300, when they was training, those Spartan people, it was like if you were a defective child, you got pitched off the cliff. You understand? That's just it. We're not even going to waste time with you because, hey, we have to serve a need, and we need strong people. Yeah. And I'm like, well, one less weak person that obviously can't hack the planet, did the planet a favor and just got off of it. Because if you can't cause I got into the serious debate, and a person like, oh, well, she was just a child. Once again, virtually everyone that I know except for my little cousins are beyond 17. Okay, and I know from my own point of reference, and it's not a cultural thing, I'm just saying I have been denied things as a 17-year-old. Want to hang out late, want to go to a party that I can't because I didn't do my studies. I did not get everything that I wanted during the course of my 17th year on this planet. And at no point in time did I think that I was going to kill any future that I can possibly have because of a momentary setback. Understand? So when I read this, the first thing I wrote, I totally didn't even think about the parents and how they would feel. I just immediately was like, good riddance. Good riddance, because, and this is a situation where, I would normally condemn Facebook, but no, Facebook didn't breed an imbecile like this. Apparently,
oh my God. He didn't blame Facebook.
No, I'm not blaming Facebook, because you know what? It is what it is, and everybody knows my position on Facebook. I'm not, I'm just not with all that lemming shit with the way to get down. But be that as it may, this whole thing about I'm so weak that something as simple as I cannot log on for that day because I have to do my studies would drive me to death. What would happen if, God forbid, there was a power outage in her neighborhood? Which could happen, a power outage, something happened to the grid, who knows? Facebook servers were down. So let's say she has all the electricity, but the servers went down temporarily because the NASDAQ went down today for like 3 hours. It happens. Things happen when you're dealing with, things like this. Would she have killed herself then? So this person...
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. This person honestly could not deal with being denied the ability to what? Upload her mood at that moment, or whatever, share a picture, or whatever it was at that point in time to where she chose the fatal decision. Good for her. The planet did what it needed to do. She did what she needed to do, was remove herself. And I know it's insensitive. I know I am not a parent, although I wish I were. I'm not a parent, and I know if that were my child, I would be devastated. But since I am not in that situation, I'm just speaking as an overall, what has happened to people to where... Well, they're drawing these final conclusions. I mean, the whole bullying thing,
and that's exactly where I was going. See,
I don't understand this.
I did talk to a parent. Okay, I talked to my brother over the weekend. We were talking about stuff and yada yada yada. Brother has 2 kids. Okay, 10 and 8 years old. Okay, my niece is 10 years old. My niece is rather small for her age. And I was asking him, I'm like, yo, what do you think about this whole bullying shit? What do you think about these kids killing themselves because of this crap? And he just started shaking his head. He's like, yo, I don't understand. My niece's school, they're teaching. My niece told me, like, everyone is created equal and there's no difference, because that's what she's being taught. So it's not like she's going to some fucking hardcore prison house school where they don't know. No, she's learning the fucking bullshit values that they're trying to teach these kids today. We all wish it were real, but it's not. But she doesn't need to know that just yet. She's 10 years old. Okay. What about the bullying shit? My brother told me, and thank God, he was like, he told his niece, he's like, my niece, his daughter, he's like, look, if someone, is making fun of you or whatever, blah, 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 go tell the teacher. Go tell the teacher, yada, yada, yada. Walk away. But he said, yo, if they keep it up and the teacher doesn't do anything,
Okay, I was about to go. Well, where does this go? Yeah.
punch them in the fucking mouth.
Yeah, I mean, I'm of the same mindset. I remember my little cousin, he said they was taking it to him in the schoolyard, right? And I guess he said they got jumped. He got jumped, right? Which happens. So he said he was trying his best to get down with them for a minute, but they overwhelmed him and, started putting them in the wrestling moves and all this kind of crap. So they did a number on him, right? So I said, yo, did you cry? And he was like, nah, I wasn't really crying. I was just trying to, get up, in his own little words, I was just trying to fight these dudes off, and I said, you going to go back and get these dudes? What's going to happen? He's like, his mom told him, she went up to school, did what she had to do. But he's like, yo, if it happens again, he's going to set it off on one of these guys. So
I'm sorry. What exactly in his little talk, what does set it off mean in big man's talk, please? Can you explain that?
Yo, he's going to put it on him. It's going to happen. Exactly. So he's like, at no point in time did he say that he was just going to cry and just deal with it, or kill himself.
Yeah, or
he was,
dive off a fucking cliff.
No.
Or hang.
No.
What the fuck? I mean, again, this is why this country is fucked. You people constantly look at the wrong thing. Oh, bullying, schmullying. Again, there is years and hundreds of people, I dare say thousands, between the 6 degrees of separation sitting right here. We can't tell you one person that we know, that we knew, that we heard of, that was even rumored to have offed themselves because of bullying. Back in our fucking day. What are you feeding your kids? What are you telling your children?
I have no idea. I mean, it's that helicopter parenting situation I could think of. There's a lot of different, but still in all, I just, 2 weeks ago, a friend of a friend said he was planning on moving out of a Park Slope, right? And he has a really great deal on his rent. So I'm like, why would you want to move out when you got that cush deal? And he said, well, his kid was playing 3 years old in a sandbox in one of the local parks, and his kid got into an altercation with another 3-year-old. So there's not much damage 2 3-year-olds can do to one another, in a sandbox, right? So he said the other parents came over, was like, oh my God, what's happening? And just like completely overreacted because 2 little 3-year-olds were basically mushing themselves with their little infantile strength. This guy's stupid with their infantile strength. So he said, I got to get the hell out of here because, his child is a boy. He's like, yo, I can't stand, sometimes kids just have to fight. And what the kids get injured, kids get scuffed up, things happen. How can you overprotect these people? Because what happens if something happens to us? And he said it was affected him to the point where, that was just one of the incidents, but he said there's been many more to where he wanted to leave the entire neighborhood to where he can have, his kid go off and be a kid. And it was
he probably just want to spare his kid the horror of seeing his schoolmates hanging them fucking cells because they got to be on a test or some shit like that.
I don't understand. So this is one of those situations where also you have to think about I guess to bring it back to Facebook is just the reliance on these devices that we have for instant gratification to the point that you're creating ADD within people because you can, I'm thinking of this, I'm thinking of that, I'm thinking of this, I'm thinking of that, and it's always like, I want to share this moment to everybody for whatever reason. We already covered the whole narcissism and all that other kind of stuff. And recently, someone they had outpatient programs for people that are suffering from social media withdrawal. Grown-ups are like, they couldn't, for whatever reason, get on social media, so they had to go to outpatient programs for this, which to me is, I can't comprehend that.
Should have fucking gave him that Jim Jones juice.
The Kool-Aid.
Kill all those bastards.
No, I'm serious. No, they should have put him in a room and just put the crazy people up in there, man, and just let that shit go crazy. Because I'm like, I would be ashamed to even go to a class like that. I mean, go to a program like that and admit that, yes, I have such an issue with not being able to log on every minute of every day that I need to go and pay someone to counsel me down off the cliff. And to me, this is indicative of where we're going as a society, but where something like this, I mean, already I don't understand the suicide thing. I just can't understand that. But then the suicide because you can't log on to something for a day because you have to do your homework. I mean, do you realize? I mean, I could tell you several instances where I was drawing. I'm an artist, drawing my comic books. You know, slacking that particular day. Not that I was a bad student, but you know, it was like, yo, put that stuff down. I remember one time, I don't know what I did in school. I think I mouthed off at the teacher. Imagine that. You know, and they took my art supplies away for like a week. Which, you know, this is predating. We had no social media and all this, you know, video games, stuff like that. So that was the biggest thing they could have done to me as far as in punishment. And at no point in time did I think that I was going to, you know, hang myself because I wouldn't be able to draw in 2 weeks, because I knew as long as the calendar kept flipping, eventually I was going to get my stuff back, you know, and I would be able to draw. You know, so I don't quite understand how these people come to these conclusions.
You'll find us amusing. You know what else my brother said?
What else, brother?
He was like, you know, and the other thing he was saying about his bullying, he was like, yo, man, he's like, I know words hurt, but he's like, yo, but they're still just words.
Yeah.
He was like, yo, back in the day, I used to catch beatings. That's what bullying means to people over, I don't know, 20, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You caught beatings.
That was bullies. They turn your pockets out, punch you in your chest.
I remember right across the street from my fucking house where my public school was.
Let's get ready to
Yeah, wait, so did you see your brother getting taken to the limit?
Well, no, actually, it was his friend.
Oh, yeah, that's
so
right.
Picture this.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I'm fucking about, I don't know, 8, 9 years old.
I remember this story.
And I'm standing on the corner of the school, of the block where the school is with my brother. My fucking apartment building is right there, right across the street. We just hear screaming. We look down the block, and his friend is getting karate kicked to death by some kid who's been taking karate. They got into an altercation, and he was literally kicking this motherfucker in his face down the block to us. This dude is screaming and hollering for help, and it's only interrupted by the toes of this motherfucker catching him in his teeth. Finally, he let this dude in a fucking heap about 10 feet from us, and I don't know if my brother was actually gonna do anything or what, but like he was like looking at the dude. The cat was walking to us, and this guy just whirled around and gave my brother a throat kick, which sent him to his knees. And then he looked at me and was like, "What, you want some too?" And I was like, "No." And he walked away. So his friend is bleeding in the street.
Your brother's
brother's choking to death
from the Adam's apple.
Yeah, but guess what? We all walked the fuck away.
And everybody's a grown man now.
Stupid motherfuckers.
I remember a day, you know, where going back to like high school around the same age as this girl. I remember, Caesar was doing we were having one of those SO store things, like for a special event in school, and Caesar was selling these roses. So he had this like cardboard little kiosk.
Yeah,
so he's back there selling the roses, right? So this was around the time when there was some budget cuts. So they let a lot of wild refuge into the school, right? So these dudes was hell bent on just wreaking havoc on everybody. So I'm sitting, at the lunch table, and I see Caesar getting his stuff organized, and out of nowhere, some dude gave him a double drop kick straight through the kiosk, roses everywhere, all sorts of shit everywhere. So, so I'm like, this is some hardcore violence. This wasn't no just words. The dude literally double drop kicked him through all of the stuff. Now, Caesar wasn't no bitch, so he got up and was trying to rumble with this dude. But the point is, at no point in time did Caesar ever think that, I'm just going to take that and kill myself tomorrow. That never occurred to us. I remember, this big girl, raked my face with a spork. It went down like that.
Yeah, the spork is right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Rake me with the spork, man, because I was, giving her some lip, and she just cold.
Good for you. That's your fucking gift.
She cold scraped my face. So, I had to take it. I was nothing I could do. She was bigger than me, and basically it was like, if you want some more, So she was like, if you want some more where that came from, just keep staying over here. So I walked the fuck away. That's all I could do at no point in time. As a matter of fact, all the bullying that happened on a serious note, one of the bullies got a serious come up into my school. But as I approached this age of 17, and I know we segueing from bullying, but it still isn't the same thing, because I equate bullying to you. Obviously, you're not getting your way, not getting your Facebook. It's all the same thing. Why would you come to this conclusion to kill yourself? And we're talking about physical bullying as opposed to you just can't log on today. I remember a situation where these guys was once again, these older students was just like beating up all the 10th graders, 12th and 11th graders. And I was about 140 pounds soaking wet. And I told the guys, I'm gonna catch this ass whoop. And I know I can't fight you guys. I can't beat you bullies. Y'all are too big for me. But I will get each and every last one of you from behind. Since you're gonna jump me and you're bigger than me, that ain't fair. So I'm gonna take the edge of my drawing desk and I'm gonna open your temple up like a can of beans, and that's gonna be the end of that. I'm not fucking with you. At no point in time that I think about.
Someone's pulling up a microphone.
Yeah, what were you gonna say? But
Hold on.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't handle these kids, you told them you would get them each one by one from behind.
Now you see where this dude's mind is at. So what kind of bullying did they give you in your school?
No,
man?
what kind of
bathroom bullying did they do to you?
What kind of reverse psychology is that?
What?
You might fuck me up, but you gonna get this dick.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. That's exactly where my mind was at that point in time. I was going to come up from behind them and fuck them in the ass, jailhouse style. That's the way I was going to stop the bullying, right? Yeah, that shit totally slipped my mind. I totally forgot about that. Whatever, fool. But the point is, I knew I couldn't deal with it, so I was like, I'm going to fight dirty. That's just it. But I am not going to hurt myself because of something, because I can't get my way at a particular time. At that time, my way was, just leave me alone. Or, like I said, my way was I wanted to draw today. Parents was like, no. I was punished for an entire summer one time, literally, for the entire summer because of something I did. At no point in time did I think of, I'm just going to lynch myself, because I knew fall would come behind summer. So I just dealt with it.
Just stop. Like I say, stop the cycle, man. You people just stop being stupid. Stop following the fucking crowd. Stop reading these stupid fucking books on how to pussify your kids. Because you know what? When they fucking cut their own wrists, it's going to be your fault.
Yep. Or cut your wrist first and then cut their wrists. Yeah.
That'll be actually fucking a positive thing. Anyway, back in 2 minutes.
We're trying to make it, baby.